Goodbye, old friend. No! Back to square one. Hello there and welcome back. The time has come to create yet another LEGO Star Wars mock. And this one is going to blow your mind to pieces. Let's jump right into it. I had a lot of different ideas for the shape of the mock, but this was the one that stuck. It's almost shaped like a C. The question of the century, what are we going to be building here? I would say Coruscant, but that's not entirely accurate. However, it will be a big modern city with an added touch of grass. I'm thinking this whole area here will be all grass. Then separating the terrain from the city, there is going to be a wall here with a big gate. And you guessed it, the city is going to be all the way from here to here. Behind the gate, we're most likely going to have some sort of a landing platform here connecting to the main road. And the main road will follow all the way to the end. And also a bunch of large building will be connected to it. All the way here at the end, we're going to have the largest building yet. It's going to be kind of a large skyscraper for the senators and the Jedi. It is very difficult to explain how everything is going to turn out right now, but as we get closer, I'm going to explain more. The first step is adding a frame. These black bricks are going to be placed like a frame around all the tables. When we're done with that, we're going to add the plates. I'll be right back when I'm done. The framework has now been added, and on top of it, we're going to add a lot of plates. But here on the terrain side, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. Since the terrain is not going to be completely leveled, we're going to need to add some more black bricks to adjust the heights of certain plates. And then we can finally begin to build the fun stuff. Alright guys, we have finished the basic layering of the terrain, and I've also started building on the city. Light green is where the streets are going to be, and gray is for the sidewalks, and dark green is for the buildings. Here are some details on how it's going to look. First off, one big wall here separating the city from the terrain. Behind this wall will be a platform for vehicles. Maybe a big building here in the back where you can basically land a Republic gunship. And by the way guys, I'm planning on buying a couple of those and modifying them so they're more accurate. Now this is where it's going to get interesting. This is where all the city buildings are going to be added. There's going to be only buildings on this side over here and to switch to this side over here, so it's going to be like zigzag. I don't want on both sides because it's going to block this light a little bit, like when it's more open here, so we can get better light source, guys. Well, this is where it gets interesting. I'm planning on adding wall here separating the city. Why that is because here is going to be like senators and more important people, so I feel like they probably want even more protection. So we'll probably add like a fancy wall over here, maybe a more rough looking wall over there. The ATTs fits pretty perfectly. This mock is going to be incredibly expensive to make, so be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends so we get 5 million views.
Don't tell me what the fuck to do. How's that, pal?
I'll see you when the road is finished. The wall separating the two worlds is now complete. Starting off with the core function of the wall, which is the sliding door, if you can see it. It's this one right here, guys. Pull this little thing here and the whole door opens. Of course, the wall has to have some safety hazards, so if you manage to somehow climb up on top of this, there is a slight chance that you'll burn your nuts off by basically touching that and you'll die. Pretty cool. So this is basically the Trump wall of Star Wars, and I'll explain in a bit why.
What?
Its main purpose is to keep unwanted guests out. Here is a demonstration of how it will work. So this guy is trying to show his passport, and this border patrol guy is not having it. This guy basically shows his card, and this guy's job is to validate if it's fake or real. And if it's real, he'll open the gate. And if it's fake, he's like,
"Oh, Lord have mercy. Security. We got a cold black. Cold black at the main gate. There's some hungry-looking niggers at the front gate."
Pretty straightforward, and I absolutely love how this little tower looks.
My family's inside. I must see them, please. He said get out of here, boy. No, please. My family.
Behind the wall, we have an apartment building that's clearly not finished. I've been having quite a lot of trouble coming up with a good design for it, mainly because I do not have enough money to make it the way I want it to be. I need some dark red parts, or dark gray will do fine as well. Because I do feel like going with one color might be a little bit bland, but hey, this is the best I can do for now. The latest thing that I'm working on is this main road. The apartment building is now almost finished. About 10 hours or more work, we should have a complete building. What you may have noticed is that the road is almost finished. Just a couple of gaps here and there that remains to be filled in. And that's about it. And what I'm working on now is actually a little bit more exciting. In the middle of the city, we're building a smaller wall in case this one is not enough. This wall also has a functioning sliding door. Okay, this one is a little bit tougher. It's really tight in there, but it works. This wall of protection will be connected into this building. We'll have a similar design to this one, but a little bit bigger. In the middle of the building, it's going to have a little area here that sticks out with a door opening, and above it, there is going to be a balcony for extra tower defense. So do not expect it to be an easy win for the separatists. And if you think that is cool, wait until this is done. Half the building has been made. Instead of adding a wall, I added a laser instead. It's going to be efficient since droids aren't very flexible. Above it, we have a medium-sized window. This little thing here is where I'm going to have a Republic emblem. Now, above it all, we have the balcony, which is my favorite part so far, and I think it turned out very beautifully. I had a lot of trouble designing this part right here, and I'm still not sure that I like it. Behind the 500 first troopers, we have the same lasers, and to the right of the building, this is how it looks. Moving to the left, it's pretty basic with all of these windows. I do feel like I did go a little bit overboard with the windows, and on my other buildings, I'm definitely not gonna add this many. And right over here, there is a little opening where you can crawl down to the wall. And if you don't want to be on the wall, you can crawl down to the surface. I've also added some new design to the wall. Now to the leftist of the left, here we have twice the lasers, double the cuts. Now our next mission is of course finishing this building, but it is also rebuilding this one. In my opinion, it is too wide here on the side, which makes the building look like it's been cut in half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild it and make it thinner, which will also in return make this building look taller.
Look how cool it is.
And lastly, this is all the parts that I've used so far. And I'm afraid even with all these parts, I don't think it will be enough. The wall is now finished. The only thing that's left is adding some tiles. And also choosing the right design. On the front, we have this design. And on the rear, we have this design. Please comment down below if you want the front or the rear. The next thing I did was connecting these tiles to the ground. That was a nightmare since I had to remove half the wall to access it. I should have done it earlier, but here we are. I also connected all of these slopes. And yes, I also kind of finished the building's walls. What would you rate it, 1 to 10? Adding this balcony is probably the best decision that I've ever made, and that says a lot. And now we're going to destroy our thick little boy. Goodbye, old friend. No! Back to square one. There are of course a couple of different ways we can go about this. My first idea is having a porch around the building like this. The second idea is only having a front porch. And the third idea is getting rid of that altogether. Comment down below which one you like the most.